All right, good afternoon. I am David P. I'm the Internal Communications Officer for Seattle DSA. Today's Skillshare is about creating a form in ActionNetwork. Forms have a lot of different uses, but let's go over what we're going to cover today. The overview, the form landing page, what people see when they first see it, and that's what's currently on the screen right now. Editing the form fields, assigning questions with specific verbiage and custom fields, as well as tags. And then we'll cover the form completion page and then share options. All right. So forms in ActionNetwork have a very similar structure to all the other actions in ActionNetwork. There is a landing page, a sort of intro page for whatever the event or form or whatever you're organizing on ActionNetwork is. And there's a follow-on page once you've completed whatever form sign up or registration or what have you. So the structure is very similar to the previous videos where we covered events. Yeah. All right. So this is the form landing page. In it, there's a place for title of the action, some sort of motivating reasons why someone might complete the form. Some use cases for this, why this is actually useful. You can have the form be for like a standing meeting. Because ActionNetwork doesn't allow you to create recurring events, you can just have the Zoom link be in a form's completion page. So that way anyone who signs up gets the link to the standard meeting Zoom link or whatever web conferencing you're using. You're able to add other creators or other groups that have sponsored it. For example, if you're working in a particular committee, you can add that. Progress bar, up to you to use it or not. Just flip it off if it's not useful. The form heading. And then you can customize these fields. By default, it's going to prompt for first name, last name, email, and zip and postal code. But we can go and edit the form itself. So let's go into that and see what the interface looks like. All right. So there's a question library. And then there's blank questions. Blank questions are going to create new fields of data specific to this form that maybe aren't going to carry across all of ActionNetwork. The question library are preset questions that have a purpose throughout all of ActionNetwork. It's not specific to a form. So for example, we can ask for someone's mobile number because that gets used for spoke and texting. Opt in for the mobile number. Be sure to include that as well if you use it. A DSA chapter dropdown for figuring out what chapter someone is in. Interest tag lists. So to create all of those, you would go into details and then go into tags to create tags, and then questions to create questions. So you can have standard verbiage by entering it as a question that can be used on any form or event registration that you want. So very useful. You have to set it up in those specific areas under details from the main menu, and then tags if it's a specific, you want to tag someone for something, or questions so that question is selectable from this dropdown. So those are all the options that we have right now. So like, let's say we wanted to do mobile number. We take that, we drag it in, and let's do an opt-in because we want to be able to have affirmative consent to be texted. And then maybe we're going to put in the interest tag. And this is something that we recently revised the email forms to include. All right. And then you can also input different types of blank questions that are going to be unique to the form. They're not going to carry over into other forms on the website, but you can query them if you look up a particular form someone completed. So There's text input, which is just a single line of text, character limited. There's a text area, which is much larger. Radio buttons, where you want someone to select just one option. Check boxes, where you can allow people to select one or many options or none. And then a drop-down box. The drop-down box is very similar to radio buttons and checkboxes, but it allows you to select multiple and doesn't, bombard you with a huge list. So maybe the interest in organizing might be better served by a select box. All right. So we're going to save form. All right. So now we know what it looks like. This is what people will fill out. Let's just put Skillshare test. Motivating reasons, keep it short. And sign up for this. All right. Now we can go on to the next step now that we've covered this this is the landing page, what people are going to see. And we're going to go to the next step. This is going to be the form completion page. You can remove share options if it's something you don't want widely shared. For example, it might be a particular sign up that might be sensitive. Maybe it's members of unions are meeting and we don't want to have all that information out there and shared with other people. So you can remove sharing options if you want, or keep them in and edit the sharing options. All right. You can change the heading text and then as well as put in the info here. This box right here, the body text, is a great area to put the Zoom link if you're using a form for a standard standing meeting where it has a regular cadence that occurs, every Sunday at 2 p.m., for example, like Comms does. Great place to drop the Zoom link, and once people have completed the form, they're going to get this also as an email. So they're going to have that Zoom link available. So very important to include that. Some other use cases for forms, our census that we conduct each year is a very complex form. We also have forms for specific volunteer asks, where we might be recruiting people to a particular meeting or a particular committee. And then you would hit save and publish. Once you've saved and published, you're going to be able to view it from an administrative aspect, and you're going to be able to see how many people have completed the action, how many people have done, taken particular steps, where they're coming from, if they're referred to from Twitter, or if they're referred to from Facebook, or if they're referred to from the chapter website. And you can select a direct link. This is important. ActionNetwork, there's a string of characters at the end of ActionNetwork links sometimes. That's generally a unique identifier tied to a particular person who received an email or received a specific prompt. And so this direct link takes off that information and gives it just a direct link that is safe to share anywhere. It's not going to be tied to updating your member data. It's going to be accessible to anyone who fills out the form. So it's very important to use direct links and not just the one that necessarily comes in on your email, because it's going to have information associated with your email account. All right. So that's it. That's what we've covered is a Skillshare on creating a form in ActionNetwork. We went over an overview, the form landing page, editing form fields, questions and custom fields, and tags. We then went over the form completion page and share options. Very short, very simple. Once again, my name is David P. I'm the Internal Communications Officer for Seattle DSA. Our meetings are every Sunday at 2 p.m. And feel free to jump on Slack. We are in the comms_design_WG for working group channel on Slack. Thank you. Have a great day.